All right, this is Drew's airplane.
Hey guys. All right, this is a 1957 Cessna 182. It's a Model A. It's the second year after they converted the 180, which was a tail dragger, into a tricycle gear. Some of the things that are different about this than what most of you are flying is that it's a straight tail and not a swept back. You'll notice that the control surfaces on this are very, very large, and they just don't make them like this anymore. Another thing that's different about the tail on this is that it actually is your elevator. You can see that it moves. The entire tail moves as opposed to what would normally be a small tab on the back of the elevator.
And this is a straight tail version, or
this is a straight tail.
When did they go to the?
The swept back started in 1960. This is also a narrow body, and they were narrow bodies until 1962 when they started the wide body.
Okay.
So it added 400 pounds and 4 inches of extra room within there, and the door is a little bit bigger as well. This aircraft has been obviously modified for skydiving, so I took it out to Boulder City, Nevada, and they cut the door and made this extra piece here and installed the step and then 4-place seating on the floor. So instead of 4 people, it now holds 5. So 4 on the floor and your pilot. Another thing that's different about this aircraft is that it's got what's called Wing X on it, and they don't make it for the 172, I don't think, but they might. But the Wing X, you can see it added quite a bit of square footage to the wing, and that served multiple purposes. One, with more wing area in turbulence, you have less effect on the aircraft. Number 2 is, by adding this, it increased my gross takeoff weight by 350 pounds.
350 just by adding that?
350. So my gross takeoff weight on this right now is 2,900 pounds.
You driving with me?
No, I'm staying.
Okay, cool.
So a few other things. The early model Cessnas had a very small access panel. There's one on each side, and they tended to buckle where the door snapped shut. And this is a patch. So this was actually cut out, and a bigger access panel was installed on this aircraft.
Now the motor, I mean, you have some goodies under the hood.
Right, so there are some goodies under the hood. Now this is a stock 0470L, but it's got a seaplane oil cooler installed on it. Also you'll notice the size of this. This is the nose cone bowl right here. So this is a mod that's part of a complete mod that was done on this. All about increasing the cooling ability of the aircraft. So the larger seaplane oil cooler, the nose bowl expansion on here, as well as all this extra fiberglass and this exhaust pipe that blows it away. So until 59, they were all this left-hand side exhaust. After 60, they moved it to the other side. So that helps with a couple of things. It keeps more exhaust out of the plane, keeps the bottom of the plane cleaner. You know, they say it adds horsepower, but it can't be much because I haven't noticed it. This plane was getting prepped for a bigger motor, and so there's a heavy-duty engine mount on here as well.
What would be the bigger motor? So
you can take this 470 and have it P-punked, is what they call it.
P-punked.
Right, so they basically increase the size of the cylinder head, and they use a cylinder head out of a 520. It's a low compression cylinder head. But this plane is going in the winter to get an 0550 put in it. So that's a 300 horse conversion.
And what is it currently?
So let's put it in perspective. So currently the stock is 230 horse.
Okay.
Go to a P-punk, it's 265 horse. Go to the 0550, it puts it at 300. So with the 550 on board, my climb out with a full load on this should be well over 2,000 foot a minute, and on a cooler morning, probably even pushing 3,000 foot a minute. So at that point, I will be able to do full loads of skydivers to full altitude every 15 minutes, and 4 loads an hour.
And a 172 in the same performance, what would a 172 do, climb rate?
I don't know. That's a trainer. I wouldn't even fly one myself.
That's incredible. And have you done anything, interior mods, gauge mods, any?
Yeah, so on the interior, we've had some upgrades in here as well. So the older style Cessnas had flip-flop radios. I've got 2 digital nav comms. I've got ADS-B in and out, so your phone or your GPS can connect to the Stratus and not just send a signal to the satellite system that air traffic control is using, but it can also read other traffic in the area that's on with Denver and has a squawk code on it as well. This right here is a digital engine reader, right? And so these are my engine gauges here, right? I've got my RPM, my manifold pressure, my oil temp, exhaust gas temperature, and cylinder head temperature. These 4 right here are also in a digital format in one look right there. So that's kind of nice. It's a redundancy.
It puts all those into one.
Yep.
Wow.
And it also reads my battery and a few other things as well. And then this was installed as well, and this is a fuel flow meter. So this is kind of nice because I can check after a flight, and I'll know pretty close, you know, within a half a gallon or whatever, what I've burned on that flight. And with skydiving operations, we don't just gas up all the way to the top, right? We don't go beyond 30 gallons of total fuel,
yeah,
which is enough for, you know, 3 or 4 hop and pops or 2 tandems that would go all the way to the top. So
fascinating. It's definitely a hot rod of a plane. That's why I had to have you talk about some of it, and it's just unique. You don't see a lot of them with, like, those, you know, we mentioned those wing mods.
Right.
So
have fun, kiddos. Are you going all the way to the top, or are you getting out low, or
low?
Low.
I'm really excited.
Well, that's the plane. It's very cool, and just kind of shows you what kind of mods you can do to these, and, you know, put them in a performance category that is completely different from what your typical 172 would be or 182 would be. And I don't know, just think how old it is, and it's still flying skydivers and everything. So